Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Andy Mitten from The Athletic has provided us with an update on Paul Pogba's contract situation. Andy Mitten has said that Manchester United have offered Paul Pogba a £400,000 a week contract to stay at Old Trafford. It would make Pogba one of the world's best paid players and the second highest earner at Manchester United. At the moment, Paul Pogba receives around £290,000 a week. Pogba's current contract at Manchester United expires next summer. Before the start of this season, Pogba rejected a new Man United contract. Earlier on in the season, it said Pogba was very likely to leave Man United on a free next summer. It said the other week that Paul Pogba wants to stay at Manchester United and sign a new contract worth £400,000 a week. And Paul Scholes recently backed Paul Pogba to stay at United. Scholes said Pogba should be delighted playing football in England as the Premier League is the best in the world, and Scholes also mentioned that Real Madrid and Barcelona are a complete mess. Pogba has enjoyed a very good start to the Premier League season. He's already got 7 assists. He did well on international duty recently with France. And Pogba produced good performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season, but at one point last season he was out with a thigh injury for a while and he sustained a couple of ankle injuries at Man United. Now, Spanish publication AS said recently that Real Madrid are back in the race to sign Pogba on a free transfer when his contract at Manchester United expires at the end of the season. Real Madrid think Paul Pogba could help convince Mbappe to join next year. A couple of years ago, Pogba spoke about Real Madrid and his relationship with Zidane. Real Madrid have been linked with him before. Paul Pogba's former club Juventus have been in for him. The other week he said Pogba refuses to rule out a Juventus return, as he did admit that he always speaks to his ex-Juventus teammates. And earlier on this season, Paul Pogba's agent Mino Raiola suggested that Pogba could return to Juventus from Man United on a free next summer. Pogba did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus before he rejoined Man United. PSG have been in for Pogba. League 10 Sports said recently that PSG are ready to offer $500,000 a week in wages to Pogba if he decides to leave Man United next summer. PSG can get Pogba in this year's summer transfer window because they did get Lionel Messi. I've heard that Lionel Messi is going to Newcastle because Lionel Messi said his goodbyes to PSG in a press conference. Barcelona are also in for Pogba, and Inter Milan have been in for him before, so he has had a long-running transfer saga. This season is Pogba's 6th season at Man United since he rejoined. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far. We paid $89 million for him, so reflecting on that, is our most expensive signing at the moment. And we had Pogba when he was a lot younger under the Alex Ferguson era, but had to let him go due to limited appearances. Now, I want to give you some news on Jesse Lingard. Jesse Lingard has rejected a new contract offer at Manchester United because of two players. Now, was it last month he said Jesse Lingard rejected a Man United contract offer over playing time concerns? Lingard's current contract at Man United expires at the end of the season. Barcelona and AC Milan will be in the front of the queue to get Lingard on a free transfer. I wanted Lingard to leave Man United in the summer transfer window. In the summer transfer window, we was demanding around 25 million for him. West Ham wanted him in the summer transfer window. At the second half of last season, Lingard enjoyed a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and he made an impact. He's had quite a few loan spells. He had a loan spell with Leicester before, Birmingham, Brighton and Derby. Lingard has been part of the club though for a long time. You know, he's been with us since 2000. He's been in our senior squad since 2011. Now recently, I've been talking with you a lot about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Solskjaer is under pressure at Manchester United because we've had a topsy-turvy start to the season. We have only won 2 of our last 6 games in all competitions. We are winless in our last 2 league games. But earlier on this season, he said Man United is still fully committed to Solskjaer and have no plans to replace a club legend as manager, despite a topsy-turvy start to the season. He said from the Daily Mail not so long ago that Solskjaer's future as manager could depend on the next 10 games. Solskjaer is out of excuses. And like I updated you yesterday, Jamie Carragher came out and said that Gary Neville and Roy Keane make permanent excuses for Solskjaer because they played with him and he's their mate. Solskjaer is actually now furious with Jamie Carragher's comments. You know, Solskjaer received very good backing in the summer transfer window this year. John Murtough backed him. John Murtough is our director of football and we made the right decision getting a director of football in because I did mention that's one of the structural changes we needed at the club. Recently, John Murtough said that we will keep control and we will not deviate from the plan. He believes we're going in the right direction under Ole. Darren Fletcher backed Solskjaer in the summer transfer window. We made the right decision recommending Darren Fletcher back in because he knows the club through thick and thin. He enjoyed 2 decades as a player for Man United. Ed Woodward's also backed Solskjaer. Woodward did say a long time ago though that he'd back Solskjaer and he assured that Solskjaer's job was safe even when we was enduring them bad periods when Ole was close to getting sacked. Woodward's leaving Man United. It got announced he was leaving back in April when that European Super League came into the equation. Woodward's had a 16-year association with the club and the Glazers backed Solskjaer. Don't forget, it recently said that the Glazers are selling 8% of Manchester United and the shares that are worth 137 million. Don't forget, towards the end of last season, the Glazers were planning to scrap the Champions League for that European Super League. And reflecting on that, there was United fans protesting against the Glazers at the Carrington training ground and Old Trafford. The reason the Glazers have been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time is because they've put Man United in so much debt. The Glazers have been at Man United for like 16 years, so they purchased the club for 500 million back in 2005. The other week it said the Glazers were unhappy with Solskjaer because of 3 players. Man United enjoyed a very good summer transfer window this year. We made 4 signings. We brought Tom Eaton in on a free from Villa, brought Jadon Sancho in from Dortmund, brought Rafael Varane in from Real Madrid, and we re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years. We spent around 141 million in the summer transfer window. And revert back to what I've said before, Manchester United should be winning the Premier League this season because we have got a title winning squad. And even earlier on this season, Solskjaer told his Man United squad that it's better than the 1999 treble winning team that Ole was part of. But the problem is that we're not playing as a team. We're playing as individuals, like Gary Neville mentioned earlier on this season. The likes of Liverpool, City and Chelsea and all of that play as a team. Our squad must be worth around 805 million. We've got, the best player in the world in Cristiano Ronaldo. We've got Marcus Rashford, that's good when he wants to be. Rashford is now back from injury. He's in contention to play against Leicester on Saturday. You've got Edison Cavani, that's good. He's made an impact since he's come in. I think Cavani will be leaving Man United though next year. Cavani was out with injury earlier on this season. We've also got Mason Greenwood, that's good. Scored 3 goals in the league so far this season. We've also got Bruno Fernandes, that's very good. Jadon Sancho, he's a good player, but he's enjoyed a bad start to his Man United career. But like I've said before, it does take some players time to settle in. We've got Donny van de Beek, that's good. But I haven't really had much of a perception on him at Manchester United because he doesn't get enough game time. Paul Pogba's obviously very good. I hope he stays at Manchester United. You've got Luke Shaw, that's a very good left back. He has been a bit out of form so far this season. He was far superior last season to how he has been so far this season. Luke Shaw's just come back from minor injury and illness. You've got Varane, that's a good centre-half. As you all know, Varane is out with a groin injury for a few weeks because Varane came off injured in France's Nations League final against Spain. He went down holding his leg. He got replaced in the 43rd minute by Dayot Upamecano. So Varane is going to be playing no part against Leicester on Saturday. You've got Harry Maguire. That's a good centre-half when he wants to be. He's had his good games at Man United. He's had his bad games. Maguire was recently injured. I think he had a calf injury. He came off injured in our 1-0 defeat to Aston Villa earlier on in the season. I think Maguire has now recovered from injury, but he's not yet returned to full training, so he's set to miss the game against his former club on Saturday. Man United are set to offer Harry Maguire a new 5-year contract worth £300,000 a week. You know that. I think Eric Bailly, he's a good centre-half. My element of concern though about Eric Bailly is injury prone, so in that aspect he's a liability. Towards the end of last season, Bailly signed a new contract with the club till 2024. You've got Wan-Bissaka, that's a good right back. There's aspects of his game that need to improve, but despite that, I still think he's one of the best right backs we've had since Gary Neville. You've got David De Gea, that's a very good goalkeeper. He's done well so far this season. And Dean Henderson, he's a good goalkeeper as well. So that is a good squad. Obviously, there's players at Man United that are not good enough to represent the club. Lingard isn't good enough. Martial isn't good enough. Fred isn't good enough. I don't think McTominay is good enough. Lindelof isn't good enough. Jones isn't good enough. Jones doesn't get in our team anyway. The lot isn't good enough. So there you go. And obviously you've got Tellez that doesn't really get in our team. Mata doesn't really get in the team. So yeah, and Tom Heaton obviously doesn't get in there. Tom Heaton did play in pre-season before the start of the Premier League season. But like I've said, in regards to Ollie in that, the vast majority of Manchester United fans are Ollie out. Maybe there's still some Man United fans that are Ollie in. Obviously, there's been Manchester United fans demanding Antonio Conte to replace Solskjaer. And there's been some Man United fans demanding Zidane in. If we do decide to sack Solskjaer, he will be the fourth permanent manager to be sacked since Ferguson, because since Ferguson we sacked Moyes, we sacked Van Gaal, and we sacked Jose Mourinho. And we're not even really known as a sacking football club, because we haven't got the structure to keep sacking managers. I've said Solskjaer has to win a trophy at Manchester United. I'd say this season to save his job. He's not yet won a trophy as Man United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. And earlier on this season, Solskjaer did say that we must leave a legacy of silverware. This season is Solskjaer's third full season as Man United manager. And I did mention at the start of this season that this season was going to be massive for Solskjaer because he's got big expectations to exceed. In the summer, Solskjaer signed a new contract at the club until 2024. There's an option of a further year. And we made a mistake giving him that new contract, because I can assure he won't see out that new contract. We should have waited until the midway point of this season, or maybe the end of this season, to decide on whether to give him that contract. Ollie's not the long-term manager for Man United, and a hell of a lot of United fans will agree with me on that aspect. There's a lot of United fans, including me, that have got strong reservations about Solskjaer's decision making. Analysing the vast majority of the games Solskjaer's managed at Manchester United, he's been tactically naive. And Solskjaer hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager. That is definitely a concern. Like I've said, he's won nothing with us yet as manager. Before he was with us, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but they're not a big club. He enjoyed 2 spells at Molde, and before then he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was absolutely disastrous. He only enjoyed a short tenure with Cardiff. The reason he got sacked from Cardiff is because he got them relegated. Ollie has a proven pedigree when he was a player, because he won a lot of trophies as a player at Man United. He enjoyed 11 years as a player for Man United and he flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance. Solskjaer's most iconic moment as a player was when he scored the winning goal in the Champions League final back in 1999. He won the club the treble, and that is the club's greatest achievement. Solskjaer has managed over 150 games as Man United manager in all competitions. Ole got appointed in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. He's been permanent Manchester United manager since March 2019. Yep, the reason he got the job permanently back in March 2019 was reflecting how well he did as the interim manager. These things I've got to credit Ole for. You know, Solskjaer has brought consistency back in certain aspects. I like the way he develops the youth, that's a positive. Solskjaer's more or less given everybody their chances to express themselves, including the young players. I've got to give Ole credit for that. Solskjaer has made good signings as Manchester United manager at the moment. Solskjaer signed 14 players. In the summer of 2019, he recommended Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. January 2020, he brought Bruno Fernandes in and Odin Igalo in on loan. In the summer of 2020, he brought Donny van der Beek in, Alex Telles, Edison Cavani, Amad Diallo and Facundo Pellistri. And like I said, in this year's summer transfer window, he brought Tom Heaton in, Jadon Sancho, Rafael Varane and re-signed Ronaldo after 12 years. We've spent like 441 million under Solskjaer. Ole's also got rid of a lot of players since he's come in, which he knew he had to do. He's loaned players out, he's got rid of players permanently. He loaned a few players out in this year's summer transfer window. He loaned Ethan Laird out, Axel Tuanzebe, Andres Pereira, Brandon Williams, Tahith Chon and Facundo Pellistri. The players he's got rid of permanently, obviously, we sold Daniel James in the summer transfer window. He was the only player we sold in this year's summer transfer window. That was disappointing from a Man United perspective. Solskjaer also released Sergio Romero and Joe Pereira. In January, he offloaded Igalo, Fossa Mensah and Rojo. Ole's also offloaded Borthwick Jackson and James Wilson. He's also offloaded players like Young, Valencia, Smalling, Darmian, Fellaini. Fellaini left back in January 2019. He offloaded Angel Gomez and Nando Herrera. He also offloaded Sanchez and Romelu Lukaku. They are all, but if they're not all, they are a lot of the players he's got rid of permanently since he come in. You can say that progress has been made under Ole because he's got us to semi-finals. He got us to the Europa League final last season. That was his first major final as Man United manager, and last season got us to the FA Cup quarter final. So there you go, and last season got us a second place finish, and in his first full season got us a third place finish. So revert back to what I've said so many times before. What Solskjaer produced in his first full season, in his second full season, he's looking to build on that this season. So there you go. But Ole knew when he'd taken over at Man United it was going to be a massive job, and he knew he had a lot to do when he came in. You know, Ole's managing one of the biggest clubs in the world, if not the biggest. So on my next video, I will be giving you my predictions for the Manchester United and Leicester game. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.